There are over 1300 items in Minecraft, and my favorite is, you've seen the thumbnail, unless you're watching from YouTube's autoplay, which nowadays gives you half a microsecond to click cancel. So for people who haven't seen the thumbnail, my favorite item is an ender pearl. It has more uses than Poland has femboys. How pearls work is simple. Throw them and teleport wherever it lands. That's it. We all love movement mechanics. You can use pearls similarly to a grappling hook if you're an alcoholic space dwarf, a real miner and crafter who can perfect parry girlfriends, treats ender pearls as more than just a grappling hook. Can a grappling hook do this? See, going places fast is useful, but that's not the only thing pearls can do. You can be trapped in a bedrock box, surrounded by chunk bands, and imprisoned by the most dangerous people, women, and even then, one ender pearl outside is all you need to escape. Pearls can save your life, if you're good, because even though you can buy pearls in Bed Wars, what you can't buy is skill, and you're gonna need both. When aiming, you need to account for gravity, your own velocity, and even air resistance. Oh, and for some reason they go a little higher in Bedrock Edition. I'm not saying you need a PhD, but it's certainly better if you have one. And be creative, because you can do so many things with ender pearls. So if you say you know every single trick with ender pearls, you are wrong. But first, you need to get some pearls. Obtaining. You can farm endermen in the end, but to get to the end you also require ender pearls. You can look for endermen in the overworld, but why would you? Just go to whatever this biome is called with the strongest weapon against endermen, a boat. You have a 50% chance to drop a pearl without looting. Alternatively, piglins can trade pearls with you 2% of the time if you're not Dream. Pearls are very rare in loot chests, and 2 out of 3 times clerics sell pearls for 5 emeralds or less if you torture them, so clearly pearls are not an early game item. Uses in PvP. It's best to use pearls to get behind enemies. In this clip, I get out of the sightline of my opponent so he doesn't see me throw the pearl, letting me sneak up and barely knock him from the back. And then he gets so mad that I have to blur it. Somehow the people of Skywars will despise you if you try to play creatively instead of holding W and spamming mouse 1. When you are behind enemies, they can technically hear your footsteps, but who am I kidding? Just look at who I'm up against. Footsteps, more like meter steps. My hamster plays better than them, and that hamster is dead. PvP is really easy once you get into it. And when you do, you will realize how powerful even a single pearl can be, because it gives mobility. You can pick fights. So if I had to summarize ender pearls in one word, it would be life. Because they are like an extra life, and also they can take someone else's life, even literally. They protect, they attack, but most importantly, they give you brain aneurysm. Do people even remember this meme nowadays? I don't know, I'm old. So, pearls are movement, a powerful form of movement, and I don't think I need to explain why mobility is so important in combat. And I won't, instead I'll show you. So when you fight against players with pearls, you basically have to kill them twice. Just kidding, they are bad, but sometimes my opponents manage to land an ender pearl. Fortunately, I know a counter to ender pearls. It's ender pearls. These pearl chases happen quite often, which could even result in situations where whoever has even a single more ender pearls left wins. The biggest issue that you might encounter is a skill issue. To solve it, get good. Now, how do you get good with ender pearls? You might not like the answer to that, but you have to use them. Have experience. The more you use them, the better you get with pearls. Pearls are oftentimes forgotten by players, which is the result of the hoarder mindset. Let me give you an example. There's no need to use ender pearls. I can just bridge there. It's better to save those pearls for later. No, you are not going to need those later. Pearls are used to go to places fast. You should use the pearl now. And later you can just get more pearls. If you keep saying that you'll need it later, then you might end up never using them. And having an item for a long time and never using it is the same as not having that item.
What just happened?
This is my flashback from when I was on the Chuckle Sandwich podcast, real.
Well, I feel like, I don't know. I mean,
Hey, Heppe. Would you rather throw an ender pearl and survive, or have unlimited ender pearls, but you die and lose all of them?
What? That's such a stupid question.
you know, I feel like Schlett's being pretty crystal.
Yeah, but if I choose the second option, I would lose those pearls and not gain anything.
And again, did I stumble over my words?
I don't think so. I think you're being crystal.
No, but the second option doesn't give me anything. I only lose.
I'll answer.
What
Do you want to
didn't
hear it
make
one
any
more time
sense?
just for
I can
posterity?
repeat it again if you want.
Ah, fine. I will take the first option. In the end, funny, it didn't matter whether I pearl instantly or after falling. I mean, I could have skipped a heart attack, but then I wouldn't get to meet Schlatt and Ted, so let's just move on. Uses in survival. When talking about mobility in Minecraft, pearls are overshadowed by Riptide Tridents, and Tridents are massively overshadowed by Elytra. I think there's a good reason why Elytra is banned on SMPs. Bro, we're supposed to have a 1v1. Yeah, like I'm actually gonna hit him. But actually, you can combine these items. Trident plus right-timed Ender Pearl equals... It just flies out of the render distance. This trick has been long known by the Minecraft Illuminati. You can control exactly the speed at which you throw Ender Pearls by choosing the right Riptide level. What could possibly the Minecraft Illuminati need such a powerful ability for? To play golf. Here's how it works. The trident is like your club and the pearl is like a ball. So you have to launch the ball into the hole with the least amount of shots. You know how golf works. But you also teleport there and it's really cool. So, skibidi. Pearls have the potential to travel over long distances, but unfortunately they require loaded chunks, which is the main weakness of Ender Pearls. If you have some chunk loaders, or just have your pearl in the spawn chunks, then it's possible to travel an infinite amount of blocks in 0 seconds. That's pretty fast. You know what's even faster? Nothing. Oh, but don't pearls do damage to you? Yeah, with Feather Falling 4 they do 1 heart. Besides, pearls are a late game item. You obtain most of them in the end. So you could even call them an end game item. And what if you are in the end and accidentally fall off? I can't die, I have a nice amount of levels. Is this salvageable? Yes, but do not try this at home because my next step requires me to open Discord. Then I calmly explain the situation and tell my friend to activate my Pearl Stasis Chamber, which I made earlier. I mean, seriously, if you have friends, just make a Stasis Chamber on your server so you can salvage any situation with just 1 Ender Pearl. Do you remember the Minecraft rule that goes, always carry a water bucket? Why not always carry Ender Pearls? If you think about it, pearls can do even more than a water bucket. I am aware that every one of my viewers is a master of the craft. You guys can water bucket clutch from 1,000 blocks fall blindfolded, while playing with your feet. But what if you are in the nether? Or what if Mojang makes it so that you can waterlog every block in the universe? Water bucket isn't as useful as the Ender Pearl. There is nothing we can do. Pearls, on the other hand, can fully prevent fall damage, no matter where you are. Remember that pearls have your velocity plus throwing velocity minus air resistance, so you have a really big window of time to throw them mid-air. Pearls have the same physics as snowballs, both of these items have the same throw velocity, which is slightly random, and both of them are weird. Let me test your knowledge. Can these projectiles deal knockback to players? And in which version was it changed? No joke, there is a Mandela effect here, because the correct answer is they don't do knockback. And they never did. It was not changed. The reason why so many people think that they do knockback is 1, because they do knockback to mobs, not players. And that's true on every Minecraft version. And 2, there's a server plugin which can make snowballs and pearls do knockback, like on Hypixel. So it makes sense that people get it wrong, because in single player they do knockback to almost everything, because there's no other players. And some mobs are just immune to knockback in general. All of the heavy mobs do not take knockback, like for example the Iron Golem, the Warden, your Mother. And on the biggest Minecraft servers there are plugins which make snowballs do knockback to players. I am also just discovering that. So, speaking of things which I was wrong about, what is the optimal angle to throw ender pearls to increase the reach? I had this on my physics test, I know the answer to that, it's 45 degrees, right? Because sine reaches its maximum at 90 degrees, which divided by 2 is 45. Wait, it's not? How is it 35 degrees? See, this is why school sucks. I got it wrong because on my physics test it said to ignore air resistance. In reality, you should never ignore air resistance. Just to be clear that there is air resistance in Minecraft, let's do a quick experiment. I'm going to throw an ender pearl from Y level 1000 and from Y level 2000, both at exactly the same angle. Now, if we ignore air resistance, the pearl from Y2000 should go further because its flight is longer, and according to Newton's first law, that pearl remains in motion at a constant velocity unless acted on by a net external force. If there was some kind of external force like the air resistance, both pearls should land approximately at the same spot because both of their vertical speeds after some time should be near zero. Here are the results. Surprise, the pearl which I threw from Y1000 flew one block further than the pearl from Y2000. This is because of that randomness which I said earlier. But the experiment is a success because they are very close to each other. Another fun experiment is watch what happens when I fall from 1000 blocks and throw a pearl downwards. After some time, I surpass that pearl, which would prove that Steve is more aerodynamic than the ender pearl. Minecraft's physics are decent. There was this video which you can see right now. It was quite popular on r/Minecraft, and oh my Technoblade! Pearls do not fall faster. Nothing falls faster. Every object receives the same acceleration, g equals 9.81. Some objects may appear to fall slower than others, but that is only a result of air resistance. If you drop items in a vacuum, they have the same speed. This claim is still wrong when you don't ignore air resistance. You threw the pearl downwards. This is not falling. And as a level 100 nerd boss, I am obligated to explain it in the comment section. And when you actually don't ignore the air resistance, the optimal angle is 35 degrees. And you land about 52 blocks away, so ideally you also want to sprint jump, that way you can even make it to 73 blocks away. If you do this with an end crystal explosion, it's 81 blocks, with a Riptide Trident it's 243 blocks. This massive pearl launcher with approximately a lot of TNT can immediately make the pearl disappear. Unfortunately, you have to load all the chunks in the way yourself. That's right, we're gonna use ender pearls to load chunks, so my ender pearl can keep flying. 1500 blocks is the result. That's not good enough. This layout can be expanded to any length, so an infinite amount of blocks. Though it takes a while. May not be flashy, but it works. So in summary, pearls just make everything faster. You move around faster, you beat the game faster, and you die faster. I personally don't really care about the Minecraft speedrunning scene, because let's be honest, speedruns are 99% luck-based. But I wanted to mention it and I can't think of anything funny, so pearls are useful for speedrunning. They can, I don't know, destroy end crystals. Totally, that's their only usage in speedruns. That and getting soft locked if you aim with it at the exact 50 nanometer window. I know some of this video is made up, but that's for real. Here's the full explanation. I ain't reading all that. The Minecraft community is currently divided into many smaller communities, like the speedrunning community, PvP, all the SMP communities, prison community. I don't mean the prison game mode where you mine and do nothing else and it sucks. I mean people who build prisons and escape them, like Canadian, the Catboy. I love this guy. These gamers are on a quest to build the inescapable Minecraft prison, and so far they got nothing, because anything can be escaped with the help of, you guessed it, ender pearls. Some prisons make you go through tens of kill checks, then put you in a tiny box with miner fatigue and regenerating walls. Even if somebody tries to get you out, their game would immediately crash as soon as they stepped into the chunks. So how do you escape it? stasis chambers. It's even called a universal technique because you can escape any prison like that. Pearls can even be used to phase through blocks, including bedrock. With pearls you can even get to places like the nether roof or the outer end island. Basically you can go anywhere. So if you are a proud American, you can use ender pearls to, for example, teleport bread. And if you are a Polish fanboy, you can, for example, make a video calling pearls your favorite item in the game. Comment down below what's your favorite item. I'm a 20-year-old man asking for your favorite Minecraft item. Nothing weird about it. Next time I will ask you what's your favorite color. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.